Cheers, everybody.
Welcome to the Late Sesh. What is going on? It is time again. I'm here, you're here, we're here together. I hope you guys can hang out with us for a little bit. Please make sure that you give the show a thumbs up and switch over to live chat, and we'll get this fucking show on the road. Purple
What's
Bay,
that, Red?
It's a thumb up.
The finger.
Oh,
It's a severed thumb up.
A severed thumb up.
disembodied thumb up.
It's a lighter that we got from Billy String's tour this fall.
nice.
Where's the
That's a keeper.
The total
live chat sign?
Relax. Just wanna take
Whoa.
Prop time.
Look it.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's time to do the show
you
off.
got
All right.
protection.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's get you up in the top spot.
They
Here,
got
we'll put you
the
in top row, man.
torch condom.
burning ourselves. We got the torch condom.
I hit my arm a couple times on it when it was hot. So nice
Okay.
little cage to match our
Cheers, Daddy Red. Merry Christmas.
stuff.
Cheers, Daddy Red. Good to see you yesterday. Cheers, Big Jar. Anything,
Here's
bro?
that
Yeah.
ruby,
Oh, the insert.
Super sweet.
and I got a new banger.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like all of it.
It doesn't fit in the best. I have to kind of be careful with it, but that's okay.
I think the closed tolerance is kind of nice. It'll keep oil from getting stuck down in there.
Yeah.
Right.
As long as you can
Are
get
you
it
gonna-
in and
are you
out,
gonna
who
give
cares?
us an example and demonstration, Becca?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What are we dabbing? with?
Nice.
I'm gonna have some.
And what's the ruby for?
It holds heat longer and better. So I can definitely tell a difference. I can sip on it for sure when
Right
I
on. Hell yeah.
Longer dab.
this is what I'm gonna try though.
You get a lot
Switched you off with there quick. What do we got? There we go.
Okay.
a lot more puffs on that first heat up
Magna.
rather than having to reheat, and we
Okay.
actually were able to reheat
Almost gone.
2 or 3 times before it
It's
started.
almost gone already. Yeah. It goes quick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna still do a cold start with it. I can actually because it's heating the banger first, and then it's slowly heating the ruby. I haven't had any issues with it burning or anything or getting too hot. I can kind of tell exactly when it's starting to bubble, and before that even, and
Yeah.
turn it off, and then wait for the ruby to get there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Cheers, DOG. I hear you in the background, brother.
DOG is fired up tonight.
Getting it started early.
You guys don't even know.
Did he get a new pillow, Red?
Oh, that's a toy.
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
a
that was
big-
a slice of bacon, wasn't it?
That was a slice of bacon.
was it really?
Yeah,
Hilarious.
giant slice of bacon. Oh yeah.
He loves toys. He got a lot of Christmas presents.
Oh,
Hell yeah, man.
buddy.
Ripped them apart. Where'd I put the
Let's
lid?
see, here's another toy. This is from one of his uncles.
I love it.
This is
I can't believe these are in one piece.
grandma and grandpa.
Right.
I think we got him so
This had a
many.
tennis ball on the end of it. Tennis ball's gone, of course.
He ripped up
He's
a couple.
gnawed on some of that end, but yeah.
We still have 2 in the closet, so
Oh.
we can keep this one.
Oh,
This
Gotta rotate in and out.
Christmas tree, the stars
Yeah.
on half the stuffing's gone.
He likes the squeaker, so he gets that out and then he pulls the fluff out.
He dismembers the fluff.
So we just know that's what he would do with a chicken, and I cannot see that happen.
Diamond's new toy that she got for Christmas.
Oh,
Whoops.
Nice.
She likes it.
She loves it. This is 2 days, but she loves it. It's rabbit.
I'm still gonna use a little carb cap and do it that way, but I'm gonna mute while I heat this up.
Well, I'm glad that you guys had an awesome Christmas. Looks like DOG had a good Christmas. You had
And
an
then
awesome
didn't you do
Christmas.
bad, right?
Baked goods.
Or really quick, look at this cool gift. It's a harvesting basket for vegetables and stuff.
Oh, that is really cool. So all the dirt and stuff falls through.
My family got our
Oh, yeah.
names on it. Isn't that cute? It says Becca and Derek.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah, that's really neat.
I'm
Who
so
gave you
Put
that?
your eggs in there too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that'd be good for eggs too.
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
had like 30 chickens.
Like hold the zucchini is like at least 18 inches, maybe 20 inches long. It's pretty solid. And the screen is like small enough to like drop dirt and stuff out, but big enough to hold shit like peas and tomatoes and random stuff like that. And yeah, I'm super geeked by that basket. It's pretty cool.
All last year, we were finding random things to put vegetables in that we harvested. Just like they were always too small and always had to have a bunch. So now we got a nice big one.
Nice. Baked, I'm glad you could join us tonight again. It's nice to see you for the late sesh.
Yep, I took a nap, so I'm ready.
Scratch off a nap.
Took a nap.
You act
I
like it's
woke up.
different than any other day.
It is. And here's house party. You missed it. I took a 3-hour nap today. That was
3
long.
hour
Oh
tour.
shit. Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then I woke up and I was like, oh fuck, what time is it? Because it was dark.
Mm.
Just sit
And
right
then,
back in your yellow tail.
Then I
I'll tell you a little
watered
bit.
and popped some RSO. Probably like I'm hoping like I just eyeball it these days. Probably like 0.4.
The question is, how
hoping-
long ago did you take that dose?
Like 7:30 something.
Oh, it's gonna start fucking.
Oh, I've felt it. Yeah.
Okay,
Because I was
right
laughing
on.
my ass off watching It's Always Sunny. And there's an episode where Frank breaks his nose, but he refuses to believe it. He just keeps plugging it worse and worse. And every scene they show him, he's like monstrous. He just keeps his face keeps swelling, so it just make him look worse and worse. I kept dying. I was falling out of my chair, dying. And I was like, "Oh man, that's some RSO working." But yeah, I've been smoking some garlic sauce.
So
Yeah,
instead of this all like burning up right away,
yeah.
just like very little.
I love the Christmas theme.
Yeah, that's actually
Green, red.
yeah.
And the
Christmas is
windows are
over.
nice and clean.
Yeah, I had to clean it so you guys wouldn't make fun of me.
Oh, come on
Look
now.
really nice.
Don't worry, Becca. I worry about that stuff too. Especially with sequence around, he'll be like, "What is that charred up banger?" I'm like, "Ah, fuck."
Are you gonna pick on my dude when he's not here to defend himself?
I'm not picking on him. He knows he'd get me if I had a Chaz up banger. He knows,
Wait.
he knows I can't show my Joel Halen because it's like I need a new one.
I so want to see him pop up in chat right now just to bust your fucking chops and be like, I'm
Probably
trying to go
will.
to sleep in here. Shut the fuck up, babe.
Yeah.
Clean your rig, bro.
No, the problem is you just like you get like visitors and it's just like you're gonna dab whatever they bring and whatever. You're not really gonna think about it because you're talking, and then all of a sudden your nice banger's a little grossed up. So it is what it is. It still works. But it's been a year or two, so
How do you clean a Chaz banger?
you
With a lot of
can't really
profanity.
do much. But really, you're just
Torch.
supposed to, yeah, you can just heat it. I slow as hell heat it. So like I keep the torch really far and slowly heat and circle, move it. And you'll
just
see it
blast
kind of
it.
heat up and then it'll, yeah, but it does something to the quartz, they say. So like, it's not
Well,
the proper way to
Have you
clean
witnessed
it.
that? Have you witnessed it doing anything? I mean, have you had issues?
Yeah, you can notice when you have a turbometer, you can notice on like the nice bangers. So like now my banger on the left side is completely different degree than the right side, always. So like it'll be like 550 over here and it'll be like 600 something over there. And it
The two
used to
bangers,
be
not on the same banger.
uniform no matter what.
You're saying the same bangers, different temperatures?
Yeah, the half of it. Because you're
So,
really
like left
using
side
the
and right
half.
side?
Yeah, and it didn't used to do that. And when you're heating it up that hot, the like quartz expands and something happens, so it's never the same again. But that's what I end up doing too. Because what are you gonna do? I've tried green cleaner. Sequence showed me a long time ago, and that works for like. It worked for like metal nails and stuff, and really black charred up like carbon. But like a nice banger that's chazzed up, I don't know. It didn't really get that brown off. So the only thing I find is, yeah, I slowly heat it up until it gets hot enough, and you'll see the black just sort of dissipate, and I think it's burning off. But
When it starts to I just keep fucking blasting it with a torch, and when it starts, the edges start to disappear. I pull the heat off.
there you
And
go.
the whole
Yeah,
thing
You
disappears.
just wipe it out with the
exactly. Yep. So, and you can move your torch around. So,
I've done
but
it
yeah.
quite often, and it's still the same banger, and I haven't had any issues. I don't know. I don't have a turpometer to measure the evenness,
Yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
still
I'm
working.
probably, yeah, it's probably being like, picky, but whatever. I want to get a couple new bangers anyways after Dro came over. He brought like 3 different type of new bangers I haven't tried. Like one that has directional holes in the side of it, so you
Did you
don't need a
notice a
cap
difference on the
really.
draw?
No, it was just nice seeing new ones, and they're really clean. And I mean, yeah, definitely like he has like a skinny kind of turbometer looking thing, and then it has a rod in the middle of it to churn it.
Oh,
And
that's
that
wild.
one, that was a really nice like turbometer option. But yeah,
Is this a style or is this a certain glass blower that's making these, and we got to get them from them?
the Joel Halen, you can get them from a lot of places. That's a certain glass maker, but that's just an expensive quartz banger.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really recommend unless you plan on taking care of it. Like making sure you're only using really, really high-end clean extracts in it, and then cleaning it with a Q-tip, and then maybe dipping it.
Like some
But
Frugoli. That'd be some good
what I
extract.
plan on getting is like
Yeah.
there's places like one On Point Smoke or something like that, or like G West. If you've seen G West on Instagram, places like that where they'll sell like a different bangers for like 40 to 60 bucks, and you can trust they're not any harmful quartz or anything that's gonna break on you. It's just not some fancy guy's name on it, so they don't charge out the wazoo. But yeah. Yeah, for Groli's saying he's got an auto spinner, so it's got holes in the side, and you just cap it. So you can use a ball or anything. It doesn't matter. The cap doesn't need a hole in it because the holes are in the side, and that's what makes it spin. And it's spun really well. So, and he had sapphire, what do you call them, turp pearls. Little balls in the banger. His were sapphire, so that was interesting to try.
That's pretty cool.
So what I want to know, besides all of these cool contraptions and fucking shit, is what flavors did you get to try from Dro this time?
Oh, he brought me some goodies, and they were gone quick.
Long gone,
But
baby, long gone. Shout out to Dro,
limelight,
bro.
some limelight,
Okay.
Nice.
which he said was a real greaser one, and it was just kind of harder to work with. But then he also brought strawberry 2.1 from Bloomco, which
What do you think of that?
I can't remember the cross, but that was a really, really good one. I like that one a lot. I think we tried some others while he was here, but I can't remember. That was like 2 weeks ago. And then he brought his fancy rig. It's like a Bear Grylls or something. It's not Bear Grylls. Bear Mountain Studios.
I was gonna say Bear Grylls, the survivalist. He's got a
Yeah,
fucking glass
no,
piece now.
Yeah, he said it's OGKB times straw guava.
I still
So
think that when Dro did his concentrates of the GMO, man, those were just fucking.
well,
so
that's what
fucking
he
good,
came
man.
for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I got him the GMO again, and I think I got him something else. Maybe not. I can't remember. But yeah, he's gonna be hopefully running some GMO soon.
I like that Mac he did. Was it a Mac cross or just straight Mac? I don't remember,
I
but
think
I
he
think we
did
should try
just
that
straight
one.
Mac. I got 3 Macs about to go into flat. Well,
Oh
in
shit.
about a
Okay.
week or two. I'm
Now,
wanting him to
did
get
you
big. I'm gonna let him get big as hell.
I've got a Mac in flour right now. Finally,
finally,
Yeah.
bro? How long has it been since you've had a Mac? and
way
flour?
too long. I don't know, man. It feels
The
like
Oh.
jar
almost
is
6
gone,
months.
man.
That's what I gave him, Spartan. I gave him the AJ Sour D. So we're gonna see how it's supposed to be the real deal. I've smoked a couple different of the cuts out there now, and I've decided personally that the AJ's was the best, and it got me that stone. It had the gross sour diesel smell when you smell a bag of it. So I gave him a cut of that to see if that maybe washes good, and man, I can't wait. But yep.
I'm smoking your garlic sauce right now, and it's pretty tasty.
Yeah, that one I smoked a joint of that and got ripped earlier today. So I like that one for the potency.
Tell you
Wow.
what, Vortex for potency for me, man. I am loving that. I just smoked a bowl just now, and my face already feels numb.
Yeah, I
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
get hands.
Ooh, I
on
need to
that.
try some of that.
I
think
can't
I might.
imagine what. Yeah, I'll for sure be growing it for a while for sure. So I will
Yeah.
definitely be getting it to you guys. But that would probably. I'd love to have that in a concentrate. I mean, if
Oh
it's hitting me
yeah.
like this as a flower, I can't imagine. Or a Donny Burger as a concentrate.
Blast off, man.
Yeah, I really do need to get a Donnie in either. Yeah, I don't care what kind of concentrate. I think it would do well in either. But
I prefer
that would be
BHL,
really
but I'm
interesting.
okay with rosin. Rosin just tastes waxy to me. I don't know. I feel like I'm bougie.
I get you there, but like I think it's all it depends on who you get, cause like Dro's is pretty clean. I don't usually get the waxiness and temp. I burn that son of a gun. You know, I'm a
That's
high
true. I
temper.
go low. I go
I
low.
want
Yeah.
to feel that hit my lungs.
What
So
temperature are you
like,
using baked?
if you do two, I'll probably hit it right at the 600 mark, which on your turbo meter is right when it stops being red. And
Okay.
I used to go higher than that though. But I know if you go a little bit lower, it seems like the terps definitely kind of
Is-
waxify your teeth.
I have a question. Is there a way for you to calibrate the terpometer?
Calibrated? No, that's a good question. We should ask them
Yeah,
You
that is
know,
interesting that you can
because
calibrate, any of the tools that we use for growing, and you can't
Right.
calibrate the.
you could.
I don't
Let's see.
know.
How could you check it if you had a hot
Although
plate with a accurate?
I
I
guess
guess we could.
we don't calibrate thermometers when we buy them from the store, though.
Usually, what you do, like in
We
a
use
restaurant, what you do is you boil water, and once the water starts to boil, you put the temperature in there. You check it that way, or you put ice in a glass with water in it, and you stick that in there, and you find your temperatures that way. That's the old school way of doing it.
That sounds terribly inaccurate.
Well,
For
welcome
growing-
to the wonderful world of small
What's
restaurants,
a
my
glass
friend.
of ice supposed to be?
No, with a glass of ice water.
Yeah, what's that supposed to be?
Somewhere around 33 degrees, 34 degrees, something like that. Just
About
above.
the temperature of the
Above
east
freezing.
arm of the Grand Traverse Bay. That's about what it was.
The East Arm.
Just ask my tits. They're still there. They froze off.
They're
in
still up there.
Left them behind, man. Nips the
Yeah.
sand dollars on the sand, right, man? Different
it. Yep.
Shout out for Girly in chat. He says he ran Donny Burger for a client that was pretty potent. All the white strains also hit me like that. And he said he'd love to run Vortex. So maybe I should do a run of Vortex.
Oh man, I took care of TJ's garden when he was out of town the other night. And I walked into his flower room, which is in day at that time 3 or 4. And
Okay.
he just put a batch, I think 10 of them. Yeah, 10 of them of AK Beam Brains, Death Star, Backcross 1.
Really?
He's wanting that Death Star. And I walked into there and I went, what the fuck? This room reeks. And I went, wait a second, that kind of is the Death Star reek. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, why are these reeking so bad? And they're like day 3 flowers, so pretty
No, that
impressed. I'm
AK
pretty
Beam
excited
Brains
for
has been
that.
around as a breeder for a long time.
Yeah.
I grew Death Star for a while.
We tried to get the cut, but it was hard to source these days, the Ohio cut, but so we ended up
There's a
up
guy
buying a pack.
and there's a guy in Jackson. Actually, I don't know if his wife kept it. He passed away a couple years ago, but his wife might still have it.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's the one I ran. It was pretty good.
I had to laugh yesterday when it was Sequence's turn because we've been running that heater in the room with the plants since we don't have any other lights in there. It's cold down there without any of the other lights. So that little Core 85 doesn't generate enough heat for just those seedlings. And so we've been running that extra heater in there. And so I'm like, hey, did you turn that heater off yet? No. And so he went down there and came back up. And I was like, well, he was so quick about it. I was like, it was like 10 seconds. So I'm like, oh, you're already back up? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, did you check on the girls and did you say goodnight? Did you talk to them and stuff?
You back so soon?
No. And I was like, you didn't? What did you do when you went down there? He's like, I turned off the heater. Like, yeah, but you were right there. Like, you don't talk to them. You don't say, hi, girls.
Oh, Lord.
How you feeling?
I'm with you,
Wait,
Pain Lady. I'm not even gonna make fun because I'm with you. I can't go into my grow room and turn around and walk out.
Yeah.
If I go in there, I'm in there for a bit.
Yep.
Just,
I
if I just sit there and look at the plants and do nothing.
yeah, just look at them, look at how they changed from the last time you saw them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just talk to them, tell them how beautiful they are, and I don't know. I just was like, really? You didn't say
Absolutely.
anything?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm more like you than Sequence when it comes to that for sure.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I didn't even check on them. I was like, geez.
I didn't even check on him. I just turned the heater off and walked back upstairs.
I'm wondering how Sequence doesn't have an ink bird already.
I don't know. He's waiting on that battery to come in, man. That's the first priority's coming first.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Come on Thursday, baby. Come on Thursday.
I can't believe he wasn't in his fucking truck at 9 a.m. this morning to the hobby shop.
Yeah.
There's always
I don't know what was open these days or today.
I don't know, but he said he could wait. I was like, okay. Yeah. Well, that was funny. Ironic, considering he couldn't wait for Christmas to open the presents.
Right.
But he can wait for his bad. He just wanted me to open my presents.
And now you're catching on to the game.
Yeah.
I got Dr. Leave Me Alone asking me in chat, Spartan, do you want a cap? CBGV RSO. It's Viagra for women.
Oh,
no thanks, man. I don't need any help in that department. I'm Viagra for women, so I have no problems there, man.
Oh my god! I just have to
right there, man.
All right, I figured out who Dr. Leave Me Alone is. It's Spartan's second account.
It's his burner.
That's my dad.
My dad just setting himself up.
No, he sent me emails. I can pull up pictures of them if you want. He sent me some emails and everything. We showed him on, was it Let's Be Buds? I think it was Let's Be Buds show.
Spartan grown. I am Viagra for women.
I definitely, for sure.
Oh Jesus!
Beard hair, man.
You can ask.
I've heard it all now.
You can ask my ex. You can ask my current girlfriend. They will all agree. Or
you know what?
2 out of 3.5.
My mom said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Not all truth is to be told at all times. How's that sound?
And do you listen to your mom, everything she tells you to do? Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
This is the content they come for right here, man. And you can take that however you want to.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny when he just didn't even remotely bat an eye when I was like, did you talk to him? No. Nothing. Like, well, we have completely different. That's the thing. Everybody has their own growing style.
Yeah, what you should do just for fun is split that in half or something and do one. You know, you take care of one side and let him take care of the other side.
Want to flex like that.
Yeah, just to see what the difference would be, if there would be one even.
Yeah.
You're competitive.
If we had 2 rooms still, I would love to do that. But yeah, I can't really do it in the same room because I'd be like whispering to him.
You can't talk to him. You gotta put a divider up.
Yeah.
Sequences side would be like cold-hearted Russian plants. We don't need love. Look at
Grow,
that.
damn it,
Look at
grow.
the weak American. It needs whispers. Needs whisper to sleep. We stand here in the cold.
They were like dogs.
And then it would be Painted Lady's side. Oh, we just love living in life. And
You know, this is a
That
good
side will be a
time to
better side too.
we love
There
it
is
because
the
she's going to
old
come
study
tell
that
us
they did.
goodnight.
Yeah,
It shows that if you talk to plants, that they do respond. So if you go into a room and they I don't remember what fucking goofy thing they had them hooked up to, but like if you go in and you start yelling, it shows one way, and if you go in there and nice easy classical music or something, it's a different thing. So
Yeah. But
they
you know what they didn't try?
what didn't they try?
Like, you don't have to like negatively talk to a plant by yelling. You can just quietly be like, "Get your shit together, plant. Get your
Listen
shit
here,
together."
man.
Yeah, listen here.
Those
Or you
studies,
could just,
those
or you
studies
could
got
just
to
cut
the
We
that
point,
keep
plant
our
down.
scissors sharp around here.
those
With the
studies
kick?
got to the point where the plants were doing it just off of
Pushing off the table and away we go.
and shit like that. They were doing it from a distance, and like they were connected to their planters, so to speak, or their gardeners, to the point to where like some of those Secret Life of Plants was a book that talks about. It doesn't
I
have a
think
lot
that
of
is what it was called.
reference on those studies, but it talks about those studies too, and references them about like more like a telepathic type of a connection.
Telepathy.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
I've heard several podcasts from people in different fields. One person was an agronomist, another person was a botanist, but they claim that they can telepathically speak to plants, and that really intrigued me. The agronomist guy was talking a story about getting called out to a farmer's field. He had two fields that were like 5 miles apart, so there was one that was kind of remote, and the remote one wasn't doing well, but the one at his other place was fine. And so he called this agronomist to try to figure out what the hell was wrong. And damn it, now I don't remember the fucking story. But anyway,
Anyways,
this-
an agronomist, we know
yeah,
that.
but anyways, this agronomist got a message, according to him, from the plants, like received a message telepathically or however in his mind to check something that he never would have checked or never would have thought of, and did it, and that was the problem, and they corrected the problem.
I mean, I think
And he said he
psilocybin
sat
is like-
there and he just sat there and meditated he just sat there, not meditated, but he said people would call it meditating maybe, but he was moving, just walking around, looking at the plants, just trying to see what impressions he got, and that was the impression he got.
Still,
thought
I
that was
still
cool
say
story.
that plants are sentient.
Oh, I 100% believe that. I think all living things are. In
Someone
more than
branch
others.
out further and say that everything that vibrates would be sentient, and everything vibrates. Rocks, things that are made from natural materials, desks, furniture, anything.
Yeah, it's because the atoms vibrate.
Nothing is at rest. Everything is in motion and at a state of vibration and moving.
That's why whenever I feel, or whenever I go grocery shopping and I'm in the produce section and I choose like an apple, and then I look at it, and if it's not one that you would select normally, I always feel bad about putting it back, because I always feel like that apple has some sort of weird feelings about being not selected. So then I'm like, oh, now I can't put it back. So then I just end up choosing the bruised apple.
You don't want to make it feel bad and inadequate.
Yep. So I do, and then I just pick the shitty apple. And I know, and I'm a fucking weirdo.
So what I would say, Painted Lady, is that the only living thing there is the seed. So you're getting that message from the seed. So
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, the seed, has an outer shell too and wants to look beautiful.
Wants to get out of there and grow.
Yep. So.
But I can go down and just like I did today. I went down into my veg and I defoliated a lot of the plants and what I call clean up my plants. And then I sprayed them with sulfur. But just sitting down there for an hour or whatever it was, maybe 2 hours, I can't remember now.
Slips
Just
away from
cleaning
you,
up-
doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like therapy or something, because I've
Yeah.
come up in such a better mood.
Mhm.
And I didn't smoke or anything. I was just down there just working on the plants, and there's a zen I think that comes with that, with maybe all gardening. I love gardening outside too, but For some reason, I have a stronger connection really with the cannabis. No doubt.
Do you find that you feel better, like the same kind of feeling, like you feel like, I don't
Rejuvenated.
know, more at peace when you work with soil as opposed to when you work with cocoa?
Yeah, yeah.
There's something about like there's cocoa, but then when you have soil and then you put your hands or like whatever, if you have gloves on or whatever, but there's just something about the smell of soil and like putting your
Absolutely.
hands in soil and just, I don't know. There's just always been
There's
something about that for me that
there's
it's,
absolute evidence that that's healthy too, and it's traced back to those microbes. The microbes get on you when you get your hands in that soil, and that changes your microbiome.
Ninja toads.
Agreed.
And really, some people say it's the microbes within us, especially our guts, that can control a lot of not only our health but the way we feel and
Gut biome, man.
where our emotions run and stuff is just from that gut biome. So
yeah.
it's crazy when you think about how that aspect of humans is a lot like plants, as far as the plants have the microbes in their roots to uptake nutrients. Same thing in our guts. We got these microbes in our guts that are breaking down the food.
I have
And-
ingested so much recharge powder.
Oh, me too.
Like it's being like, like
You never
or
recognize the taste, right?
whatever, mixing up organic soil with all of the, neem and everything else. And I try to wear a mask when I'm doing that, but
Mhm.
sometimes I'm in a hurry with recharge and stuff. So I'm sure, I'm crawling with microbes.
Your body's looking for lacto.
I don't really mind recharge. It smells great. It smells like chocolate to me, kind of.
I like recharge a lot. I've always been a fan of that product. I don't know. People can say what they will, but I think
I
my
really like
plants love it.
I still use it.
I like to try to remember that we are still in the infancy of understanding how this shit all works. And what I mean by that is let's go back 100 years and let's take cutting edge up from 100 years and then look at where we're at now and then realize, through leaps and bounds and technical advances and shit in science, think of where growing will be in another 10 years or another 20 years. And then looking back on the things that we know now and going, wow, we really, we kind of didn't know that back then. And now that we understand this, we can unlock that. And, it's
That's
exciting shit, man.
cool stuff, because a lot of the growing a lot of the organic growers are doing is they're going back to the way that we grew before. But now is the understanding what you're talking about, like the science is behind it. You can kind of make sure you're doing the right thing instead
The
of just
living soil web and all that good shit. Right.
Absolutely.
I remember, like, when we're going back to when we were talking about lighting last night, when I brought home I ordered some blurples off of Amazon. And at the time, they weren't like, the typical like blurple. They had like a blue spectrum and then a red spectrum for flower. And my mentor laughed his ass off when I brought those up because he was an HPS grower. And he just was like, "What do you think you're going to do with those?" And I'm going to grow some weed. And it did. And he, it probably wasn't the best, of course, compared to now. So the technology is so much better, but it still grew it. And, to the people that were thinking that there was some kind of technology that would beat all that old school stuff. And now they have, and they're coming out with better and better technology that, costs less to run and everything. And it's just so funny to watch it change everybody's opinion that we're old schoolers that are seeing it now. And it's just kind of cool.
Man, we dealt with that at work. Then at work, that sometimes there'd be some things that they would be like, they were still growing with HPS. I mean, it's mixed. They have some LED. But to get them to even try, how about one room full of LED, just to get them to try is like, I don't know. It's a lot of effort.
Pulling teeth.
Well, they get, because I still try all the time. I'm like, man, this sure would be a lot easier if we didn't have heat stress from HPS, blah, blah, blah. And replacing bulbs all the time. It's like, Jesus. But
that's the part I hate. Fuck, I hated that.
What the problem that I
Way
see
up in the
when I talk to him is he's been using HIDs for 10 years, caregiver before, so like trusted HID. This is my trusted, and and he does, that's what pays the bills. So it's like he doesn't want to switch, but it's like I told him the other day, I was like, I'm pretty sure if we switch to LED, you could get whatever brand you want for 80% off because you can get a rebate.
You know what I would say, Baked, is
Consumers.
I don't know any growers that have switched to LED that have said, you know what, fuck these lights. I'm going back to 1,000-watt fucking magnetic gallery.
That's a good
Yeah.
point that I should bring up too. And yeah, that's exactly. It's like
Everybody's
none of
like,
his
it's still
friends
a balancing
either.
thing. It's the cost
Yeah.
initially to do it, but then you think of the cost to run the bulbs and the extra HVAC and everything else because you're dealing
Well,
with
and
more.
yeah,
Bro, it's
600
at
watts
the
is pretty
commercial.
much half.
At commercial level, it's not that the cost isn't even that because you
Right.
like what Bake just said, they've got the fucking rebates here. I'll tell you what, if you guys are getting like multiple lights, so you're getting, I think I don't know what the fucking thing is, at least
What
10,
the base level
10
is.
or more.
Probably,
Or
I bet
something.
10.
You qualify for these rebates through the state. Now, the DTE is only a 20% rebate. Consumers is an 80% rebate. So there's these commercial operations that are getting hundreds of lights
Right.
for 20% cost. It's like GML working with GML.
Right.
Like he's working with a third-party company that deals with a rebate for you. So they just basically take a loan out, pay you the fucking rebate right from the get. So basically you only pay 20% and they pick up the other 80% and then they wait for the rebate to come get their money back.
Well, it's all about the ROI, the return on investment, and I don't know. I just really, really feel like my grow personally really leveled up when I went away from HPS and I went into the more modern LED lighting.
It's
I
easier
agree.
to
The
control.
heat thing helps the heat thing so
For sure.
much.
Yeah.
That's where you start saving money when your AC is not having to try to fight your light heat.
On the plants,
was-
you can watch a lot of strains. Dude. I mean, our lights are 4 or 5 feet away from the canopy, and some strains
Right.
still are like, "Fuck this!" From the ones under the HPS sides, and that's why like we put certain stuff in the middle under the LED versus the sides. Like, it's
Man,
just
I just
yeah.
wanted to get something to lower my bill. Man, I was looking at
Yeah.
the bills were so high, and the LEDs, once I switched over to all LEDs, it cut them in probably half, if not more than that. It was great.
I would say, see, I like to say half because, yeah, okay, most like full, you usually go from 1,000 watt HID to 600 watt ish LEDs is like the top. And yeah, that's not exactly half, but when you factor in the fact of like HVAC and stuff like that, that you don't have to fight, maybe it is about half is equal to 1,000 watt. But yeah, and it's just more manageable heat. You can stick your hand, 2 feet away from LED. You're probably not gonna feel anything. You're gonna feel your fans, wind, and stuff like that.
Yeah, then
But
you're wanting to get a fucking light meter because you can't tell if it's
yeah,
it's not
well,
heat. It's not heat anymore.
well,
It's not heat
yeah,
anymore. It's actual light. Too much light. So then now you
Yeah.
want to get the light meter.
yeah. I borrowed the one from work.
I just used my pulse.
Yeah, I got a pulse coming, so I'm gonna be able to use that here.
That's so
That'd be
awesome.
cool. Yep.
We got a good
Very
question in chat. Little Ebud asks, okay, Baked Pwn or Spartan Grown or anyone on the panel. I'm in week 3-4 of flower and just dusted a few buds carefully. What do I need to know or expect from here on out? Harvest and cure. I mean, I would expect seeds, one.
I'm guessing sounds
Yeah.
like yeah.
So look for that to happen when, in late flower. The seeded buds, I try to let them go as long as possible, like past what I would do if I was harvesting it to smoke.
Yeah.
The reason is
yeah.
I just want to get as many because you're going to get all different, just like trichomes, you're going to get all different stages. And you could get
Let me
really,
show
well,
you.
I don't know, with all the pollen at the same time like that, you're probably,
I
they're
gotta
probably
find-
pretty much the same age. I'd say
I'll
you're
be
going to
right
want to make sure
back.
they're very mature. You want to make sure they're very mature. I got a whole fucking jar sitting down here right now. These are the Vortex F2s that I've got. And I just let them pretty much die on the plant. But I got a lot of seeds, a lot of nice
That's
mature
a lot
tiger
of seeds, dude.
seeds. Yeah.
That's a good point. gotten a lot of seed packs where the seeds were less than, we'll say, finished. It's like, I'm afraid that is going to affect the potential energy that is within, that the genetic seed. I feel like it's going to. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like you should really let it ripen so that it like completely forms. It fully gestates. Is that the proper, like, what does it do? It's like fully,
That's probably a good term.
developing, completely.
I think gestation is in like a human body.
Animals.
But
Yeah,
I
the
think
equivalent.
ripening or
It's the smartest word we got right now.
Yeah, right.
Work with
Yeah,
us. We know what
ripening's
you
good
mean.
too. But yeah, so
Say
really
maturing.
quickly,
Say maturing then, if you don't want to say ripening. Whatever.
this is Chernobyl times Han Solo burger my buddy did. Now he used what's the old one? Colloidal silver.
Colloidal silver.
And he reversed the Han Solo burger and then stuck it in a room. So day one flour, this Han Solo burger was going. So probably like 2 weeks in, the Han Solo burger probably started dropping pollen. These are day like 65, I want to say, or 66. He took in flour on the Chernobyl, and they're not really, I would say, mature seeds. Like if I got these in a pack, I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" All right, so I think Spartan's right. You gotta take it as long as you can. 75, 80 days. Make sure.
Especially
Who cares? You're not getting it for the bud. I
like
hope.
Chernobyl. I think
So,
that's gonna actually like be a much more of a longer flowering.
both of those are. But he got other
Like
strains
70
that
days.
were a little bit better seeds. But I think had he taken it
Yeah.
5, maybe 10 more days, all the seeds would have been good because I take most of my flowering stuff to like 70 plus if I can, at least 70.
And
And
if
all
you were
my
only
seeds are, brown from the accidental pollen that I had in there.
well, if you also, let's say that you dusted a branch on a plant and you always harvest this plant at 65 days, harvest everything except for the branch that you've dusted. Leave that on the plant, leave that in the dirt, let that push it in the corner, whatever you got to do, just let it go. And then they'll fully ripen and mature in there and you're good to go.
And if you really dust it, you should have a lot of seeds on it, like all the calyxes. So you could just pop one out and see what it looks like. But yeah,
Yeah, that's that's the biggest, probably main point that isn't discussed a lot, and that's when you're seeding out a plant on. Well, you see, this is different because he's just doing one bud or a couple buds. But
yeah.
usually, when you're seeding out a plant on purpose, you're
Not
going
smoking
for
any of that
just
anyway.
the seeds. You're not going for the
Right.
and you're going to want to, after you harvest, you want it to go, as long as it can go, or at least 70, 80 days at least. I think I went 100 on mine, but they just were obviously the males died way early, and then when I saw that happen, I knew the females wouldn't be too far behind, so I went ahead and cut them. But then you want to dry them. I mean, hopefully strip them of all the big fan leaves and shit, and then just dry them until they are crispy as fuck, which means you don't have to worry about drying it slow and all that bullshit. I ended up just hanging them in a tent when it was cold, so the humidity was really
Wintering
low.
the seeds.
Yeah, and so they dried out in about, I don't know, 10 days or so. But then you just take the buds over well, I used a trim tray, but then that trim tray is pretty much dedicated to do this. You don't want to use it for anything else because it's gonna be covered in pollen too. But if you get the pollen, but you just take the buds and just scratch, just do that, and then all the seeds are gonna come out, and then you got to separate the seeds. But that's the fastest old school way to do it. They got seed separators and stuff to make it easier.
Says chat, where they peek out at you when it's ripe. Says Chasmanian Devil in chat. I agree with that.
Yeah, they'll stick out. Yeah, you'll see. Yeah. Hell, some drop. Some will drop on their own.
Some will shoot out across the room like the fucking. I'm wanting to say Chernobyl, the Citrique.
I got 3 seedlings in my bliss bud. I noticed popped up underneath like a fucking cover crop. That's got to be from one of my seeded plants. Who knows what the hell? Some kind of vortex.
I remember the first time I saw a seed, I just wanted to cry. I was like,
Thought it was ruined.
no, I did something wrong. What did I do? And then just trying to figure out what happened.
Yep.
Terrible.
Really sucks when you're a new grower and it really isn't your fault. You're dealing with something that's a little touchy, and
I
Yeah.
was always kind of
Well.
excited. I was always kind of excited to see seeds, unless it was like a herm, because then well, you probably don't want those.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference between like a seeded bud and like a seed in a bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time of year we'll find seeds in our indoor and shit like that. But like our outdoor being seeded up, oh man, that's a fucking seeded bud, man.
Dude, you're gonna have forever volunteers in that bag. You know what I mean?
I'm hoping, unless the chickens got them all. I'm hoping.
Oh, good point. That's a good point. I didn't even consider that.
Chickens are going to be getting a lot of the volunteers I've been thinking about, but I guess it's
You let them go through your strawberries?
given.
Their chickens.
They've
Yeah.
been in that bed
They've been
a
in
couple times, but not for very long. Like they haven't.
So
Like,
they don't fuck up your strawberries.
there. Right. Those strawberries are prolific, so we'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
I mean, as far as a management point, there's only 6 of them and a very large space to allow them to kind of graze and hope that everything can kind of outgrow their grazing habits. Once everything's in like grow mode in the spring, they're not going to have access to those gardens anymore. They'll be taking on the waste from the gardens.
Yeah, they'll be eating good still. They won't have to go far. They can just
Exactly.
throw it in their yard.
and then do some like specific stuff and cover some areas so we can let things grow like just for them. Figure out what kind of maybe like a cover crop or something they would chow on.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some winter cover crop and never got down in time. I'm probably going to try to sow some of it in the springtime anyway and just use it for some of the areas, some grass and vetch and clover mixtures. They were good.
Man, I told Sequence today, he said, well, holidays are almost over. I'm ready for spring. Bring on the Baker Creek. Let's start getting our seeds ready for, sowing them for outside.
That's what
We're gonna grow.
Friday we're gonna hit 50 or some shit like
What?
that. 49, 50. I'm not joking. I had to look at the weather.
Yeah.
I was in such a good mood all day
Yep.
after that.
Holy shit. I didn't see that.
50-degree swings. Yeah.
And then the whole first
Could be a
week
mist.
of January looks like it's in the 40s.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes.
It probably will be most. We'll get these little fucking cold fronts. They're gonna blast through. But our winters are generally mild. I'm expecting to get seeds planted as soon as we can. We've been clearing out our old grow rooms, trying to get them turned into new grow rooms of some sort and bedrooms and things like that. But we got sick last week. We got hit real hard with some stay in the bed shit. And it was rough for we missed most of the holidays with family and stuff like that. We did go out to Christmas gatherings yesterday, but otherwise we've just like not been out and about. We've been trying to get these rooms set up so that we can actually start seeds because we're almost too late on getting some stuff started like rosemary and getting some onions going and some of these maybe celery, like some of these super early starters. And then on into January, there's another round of stuff we can get going. And there's flowers and all kinds of shit we got to get started. But I hear you, Painted Lady. Get those seeds organized. Becca did the same thing. She went through and did her Baker Creek. So,
Yep, I'm going to do it. I mean, because what better time than we're just all sitting inside figuring out what to binge watch next on Netflix or whatever where your hobby is. RC trucks. I don't know, whatever, it's fine.
Best information on those things is how long they need to germinate and all that stuff. Try to figure out when you need to start them, because you don't need to start some stuff now. If you started a tomato now, your tomato is going to be 6 feet tall by the time you want to go put it outside. There's no sense in starting it now. Start it in March. You might want to start some other shit now. There's certainly other stuff you can start now.
I would just like to grow some herbs and stuff inside where my cats can't eat them. Because I've never been able to have those people have those cool little windowsill
Right,
herb
not with
gardens,
cats.
and are you fucking kidding me? My cat would be over there.
You need like a 2x3 or
2 seconds.
something. You know what I mean? And I mean that as a tent, not a 2x3 to chase the cat off the fucking counters with. Not the same.
So I would just like to have a little place I could have some herbs growing, or just, some other, I don't know, indoor kind of vegetables that you can get started and maybe just even grow indoors. They don't have to be 6-foot tomatoes or anything like that, but
lettuce would be a good
yeah, like salad type stuffs.
Or potatoes. I think potatoes would do really good with cannabis.
Yeah. Your lettuces are actually
Or garlic.
all winter long. We failed to get any kind of
Garlic would be nice because it needs to be warm, so that would be perfect in the grow.
I love garlic. Garlic is
I'm curious about growing that with cannabis. There's some studies with
I'm saying in a pot next to it.
There's studies with strawberries and cannabis and affecting the terpene profile and stuff. And there's volatile sulfur compounds in garlic that are similar to the ones in cannabis, and I'm guessing that is what gives something like GMO that garlicky smell is more like a volatile sulfur compound than it is a terpene.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me, because think about it, when you put something in your refrigerator next to something that you just put an onion. You ever notice that? Like if you put an onion without wrapping it very well, everything in your fridge tastes like an onion.
And that's
disgusting.
a similar.
The onion absorbs all the shit too, so do not eat that onion. Throw it away.
And I'm curious if those volatile sulfur compounds from the garlic would then change and make your weed maybe a little more skunky, funky, volatile as well, similar to the strawberry study with the terpenes. So
did it show that it had more of this
that's what I heard it was supposed to have showed. But I really don't know what the actual.
I know that fucking just anecdotally or whatever. In my own fucking garden, I noticed sulfur increases terps, in my opinion. For sure.
That's not what I mean. Volatile sulfur compounds, VSCs, are a flavonoid, smell-ovinoid, or whatever the hell you want to call it. That is cannabis, and it's also in garlic and onions and things.
It's like an ester. But esters is alcohol, not sulfur.
Yeah, but this is
Watch it, sucker. Oh, not that ester. Okay.
A little different.
What?
Some kind of a smell compound, but it's supposedly what gives it the skunky smell, what gives cannabis and garlic and some of those other things, a bit of a skunky type smell, funky, skunky smell. And I'm curious if the garlic growing with cannabis would affect the flavor of cannabis and make it more garlicky.
You mean in the same bed, or do you mean just around it, like just because of the chemicals in the air?
No, in the same bed, not chemicals in the air, root contact, stuff like that. Similar to having strawberries. There's a theory that growing strawberries with your strawberry plants can give it fruity flavors, something with the terpene reactions or something.
Yeah, I think that was the legend of the. I don't know if Kyle Cushman had said something or somebody just said it for him and it took off, but supposedly that's how he got his strawberry cough, was growing in the strawberry.
Getting the story from, something like that. But anyway, that's the skunk smell or that garlic smell that you get is more of it's a different type of a compound.
Yeah, it sticks around too.
As far as chemical geometry goes, than it is terpene, which I believe a terpene's a lipid. I'm not sure 100% about that.
We
Yeah.
are 5 minutes from hash time, everybody. Hopefully, you have a chance to go collect up all your accoutrements and materials necessary to blast off and ring in the new day.
I checked out our seeds earlier just to, really give them a good look. And it looks like the only one of the granny skunk that we have left that popped is that mutant one. So I'm really hoping that one kind of snaps out of it and takes off, because that's the only one of the granny skunk that we have that we were able to get. So I don't know. And then the rest of them are just the Las Vegas lemon skunk, the Get Down. We have some Get Down and Cherry Crescendo, and then the Rise and Golden Goat. But yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed on that granny skunk.
I wanted to ask you about your outdoor plans for next season. Since you guys decided that you're not going to carry any of your genetics forward from this, what did you have an eye on to try outdoors next year?
We're going to do an auto. I think just do a little small auto on the porch. So I would really like to do maybe I think I have some Insane in the, is it the Insane in the Membrane auto?
Dude, you haven't.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the.
That's one of his highest potency
yeah.
photos.
I ran that strain early on.
Yeah.
And loved it, dude. I loved it so much. And then I just let it go. I just, moved on. So I think I might try that as an auto, but I don't know what sequence has his eye on yet. We haven't really even talked about it, except for the fact that I brought up the, garden seeds today, but we didn't bring up any plant seeds suggestions. So I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm probably going to want to run something from the,
Noob planted one today. Hell yeah. Noob's always at the cutting edge of like, what the fuck is going down, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who grew a
Cheers,
really
Noob.
great fucking Insane in the Membrane was Eagle Gardens, man. Fuck, that was some stony shit.
It was, I loved it, man. It smelled so good in the garden. It was so delicious, and it was so tasty.
Tall.
Mm-hmm. It was really tall. I really had to super crop it a lot and mess with it, but trellised it. I had trellised it a lot, but and it was heavy too. But yeah, it was
big grenade nuts.
Great. So yeah, probably maybe an auto, because I've never grown an auto. So maybe an auto and something either from Ivory, because I really think that Ivory works well outside. Always, never seems to be powdery mildew heavy, and I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be exciting because I just love growing outside. That's my preferred method of growing now. It's just nice to watch them grow outside. I wish I had a greenhouse. That'd be ideal, but hey, someday.
When we were hanging out,
a Grandio back there.
A what?
I don't get enough sun.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. So
those big old trees block everything. Yeah.
Next house.
Yep. Something to look forward to.
Yep.
Greenhouse would be cool. I think if I had a greenhouse, like I would just want one that's like self-automated, kind of like a Grandio, where it's like no electricity and all that. And I would just do like non-cannabis in there. But
I would love to have a greenhouse for everything, just cannabis.
Oh, if I had a big enough one, yeah.
So cool. Or just like a little one for vegetables.
Are those trees in your yard or your neighbor's yard?
Both.
Little column A, little column B.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. Your neighbors might just chop them down. You'd be surprised someday.
Oh, no. I don't want to chop them down. That's one of the reasons why I bought the house.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. That backyard is so tranquil, man.
Yeah. I love all the old trees and the squirrels and stuff running around and everything. And just the privacy that they provide is just amazing. But in turn, I don't get to grow much. I don't get
You
to
lose a
have
whole portion
space
of your
to-
backyard. Yeah.
That always terrifies me when trees are that close to homes. It's like, oh man.
Homeowners insurance, baby.
Whew.
Hashtag.
Gosh.
There have been a
Oh,
lot of
I gotta get
limbs
my-
that have fallen out of that red, out of those trees, but thankfully they're not close enough to my house or the garage.
Yeah, they're sturdy. They're sturdy. As long as they don't die on you anytime soon, in the next 100 years, you should be fine. Keep your grounds clean. Keep a nice, healthy garden.
I got to say though, it was so nice because I used to live out in the country, and it was just always so peaceful out there. And what check local listings, but here in Michigan, we got a fucking snowstorm, and some of us got a bunch of snow, some of us didn't, but it mostly snowed throughout the weekend, and it was just really, really peaceful. Like you'd go outside, and where we used to be able to hear the highway and like cars going by and stuff, we could just go outside and be like, yesterday we had to take care of my neighbor's cat when she was away. So we took our mimosas next door. We just walked over there. We're like, listen.
You're those
There's
neighbors that just walk through the neighborhood.
Yeah, we had our mimosas. and yeah, there was no car. It was so peaceful. There was no car traffic noise or anything. It was amazing. It was a great weekend. Really peaceful.
That's how it was the first day of deer camp of hunting season this year. Middle of November up north. We immediately got dumped on with like a foot of snow, and it ended up snowing throughout the week in the northern Michigan National Forest area. And in the forest, similar to what you said, Painted Lady, okay, so it's already kind of quiet in the forest, but you can hear the road traffic. You can hear traffic. You can hear cars going by all the time. But when the snow's falling, it adds this like layer of insulation in
Our value.
True. Yeah.
and so like and then what it also does is the trees bend and lower, and that adds a layer of insulation to the air, so it really muffles the sound and it gets dense and dead silent.
I love it.
It is
magical.
so beautiful. There's something so tranquil about it, and at the same time humbling, because all of that weight, all of those branches and those trees are weighed way down, and you start hearing the creaking, and you understand the physics and the dynamics of the forest, and you see all the dead
Widowmakers.
and you see all the dead branches and shit all around. You start to have a sense of just being very small among giants, that could very easily step on you if you play your cards just a little bit wrong. And so I was walking and just looking up and was, half terrified, half, proud to be able to like stand there and be allowed to pass. You know what I mean? Like it was humbling. It was almost like, I was allowed to pass. You may pass. It kind of was, I was almost making a fairy tale or a short story of it in my mind, like
A little bit of Tolkien going on.
yeah, like almost trudging through the forest, as if it were a living entity, as if it were, well, it is, right? And it is allowing you to pass, you hear the howls of the wind or the animals, the hunting of the Sasquatch. That's why I wanted to show this little pin. Becca got me this little pin for Christmas, a little steely with a Sasquatch on it.
Dude,
Cute.
hell yeah, man.
Marmalade
I saw
skies.
it and I couldn't not buy it.
I'm super geeked about it. Well, it's super heavy. Oh yeah, man. It's very humbling in there. If you can get in and get out, and stay safe in the forest, especially when it snows, rains, anything like that. Animals get hungry.
There's just something about not hearing that noise in the background, the city noise. I would be up north for camp every year, and then I worked there and was there all summer, and it was just so peaceful and tranquil always. Just having could like walk somewhere and not hear anything. So cool.
Now, there's one thing I would add to that, though, is non-silence is the studies that they've done recently shows that the bird song, listening to birds sing and just, carry on in the background has a positive influence on your mood when you're subjected to it, Now, a lot of people are going to go, man, there's this fucking one thing that just makes so much noise and keeps me up at night or whatever, but not talking about that. Just going outside, listening to the sound of the wind blow through the trees. Maybe depending on the season, you hear the leaves going, and fuck yeah, man. Outside is where it's at.
It's
being shut up inside, man. It sucks.
It's really hard to do because it's cold, and your instincts make you want to move and stay warm. But if you can be still out there in the cold vast of the forest, with the snow and everything,
That's how you get Bigfoot. That's how you track him.
Dude, the forest just comes to life, and you might think that there's nothing around, but all of a sudden there's fucking owls and there's woodpeckers and there's eagles and there's fucking beavers and fox. Dude, I had a fox run up on me, stare at me, give me a little one over, and then turn around and hop away. A little bit later he came back, kicked some snow at me and shit like that. The forest is a fantastic place. I've seen wolf. I've seen so much cool stuff in the forest.
We saw a bear.
Dude, I seen a fox in Farmington Hills last week. How fucking crazy is that?
That's cool. That's
Wow.
You would not expect to find a fox in Farmington Hills, but there he was.
Yeah.
And it's most certainly alive. There's lots to be had in the wilderness. We haven't taken it all over yet. You can get out there and enjoy it while it lasts. Be a part of it. Respect it, value it, thank it.
You're always a part of nature. You just fucking forget that you're a part of nature. You convince yourself that you're separate from nature, but you're not.
Your heart beats in the same rhythm as everything else does.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I got full gear for sledding now.
Did you get a toboggan? Did you get a disc?
Well, I
What'd you
didn't get the actual sled yet because I'm not going out. It's too cold. I wanted to warm up a little bit. But
That's kind of the whole thing on sledding, bro, is that you gotta kind of go when it's cold, man.
no,
Yeah.
you don't. You go when the snow's good. It's like snowboarding. It doesn't have to be cold. It doesn't have to be blistering. So
True.
I got a bib though, a big old insulated bib.
Nice.
Carhartt?
Yeah, yeah.
If it's
No, it's like a knockoff Carhartt.
Not the
You don't
hemp one,
find
not the cool one we
Carhartt.
were talking about.
Man, Carhartts are no joke. I
Yeah.
never knew the magic of a Carhartt until one time I had to go chop wood, and I borrowed my ex's Carhartt because his jacket was right there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw this on really quick. Threw on a Carhartt and went out there. I was sweating, like
Yeah.
holy shit! No wonder why everybody buys these things. Those things
Okay.
Yeah, they
work.
make good.
I've had one for like 15 years, and like the sleeves are finally starting to like give the cuffs of the sleeves and everything are finally starting to give way. But I've thrown that fucker on every winter up until about last year.
You know what? I gotta give a shout out to this dry duck.
Is that the
DR.
brand?
Yep.
Okay.
DRI duck. We got these from work. It's actually like Canada swag. They sent us a box, but it's got a double lining. So you see this other color is actually a second layer, and it's like it's heavy, but it's just a hoodie. You're like, oh, it's just a
Right.
hoodie, but it's warm as sin. And then I noticed the other day there's some sort of technology going on with the hood.
Technology.
I had the hood on,
The cloaking device?
and I
Fitted
was,
going on in that hood.
I went outside, and it's like it's like there's a trampoline on your head when the droplets hit. It's like it reverberates up there. You're listening to it. So there's some sort of double layer technology that keeps you warm with this. And yeah, so I like these. I just found out
Hilarious.
about them.
You know what's been a good technology, man, is that reflective, almost like a thermal blanket, like a camping blanket or something like that. A pack
The
blanket.
jackets,
Yeah, it's
the
Columbia.
tinfoil.
Columbia's been
I've seen them.
on the inside. They have this. It's like a silver lining or whatever, but
We love silver linings around here.
Bimini? Is it a Bimini? A Beamy? Beamy? Is that what the fuck it's called? What the
What
fuck?
in the fuck? Bimini is an island, bro. A
sleeping
beanie
bag.
is a hat.
A
What are you
beanie's
talking
a hat
about?
you're wearing.
A Bimini.
Bimini Road? What the fuck?
Not Bimini. Bimini. It's a Bimini. I don't fucking know.
Next word. Next.
It's you sleep in foil. It's a foil blanket. You know, it's you see the
Is it like Mylar?
I
know what you're talking about. This is the massive space blankets from back in the day.
It's a space blanket. Yeah, so it's space technology, right? It's used to reflect waves, but also reflects your own body heat. It's what keeps you warm with this tiny little
Looking for it, buddy.
paper thin blanket can save your life if it's sub-zero temperatures. You know, I'm sleeping with a down blanket, sweating my bag off. You know, all you really need is this little tiny little thing. So, anyways, so Columbia has been designing their jackets with a inner layer. I think where the Sherpa is on this jacket, it's there on the inside, so you reflect your body heat back and forth to you.
Omni heat.
Omni heat, yeah. And I don't know if it's a patent.
You looked that up, Bake. I know you did.
If there's,
I'm looking. I told you.
So Columbia specifically has the Omni heat.
That's I have some of those.
And I have a couple of those jackets, man. And both of them similar design jackets, but they're great, dude.
I'd like to watch.
You know, if you can get one with a double liner, you get yourself an interior down jacket, and it has the Omni heat, and then the outside is more of a shell, but it's a nice material. I wouldn't say it's as strong as like a canvas or something like that. It's kind of like a synthetic canvas material. It's kind of nice, almost like a ski jacket. Like
you want to talk about like space age technology? I used to have a dishwasher that worked for me at the restaurant, and he used to wear this jacket that had a battery pack in it. It was like a fucking electric blanket as a hoodie. It was so weird, man. Charged up with a USB.
I've got one. I've got one.
You do? Okay.
Fucking badass.
What's the name brand on that shit?
Milwaukee.
They have several brands of them.
Uses the same fucking charger that Milwaukee drills use. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking three levels of heat. You can go low, medium, high.
Now, does it just heat the chest, or does it do the arms?
Yeah, the one I've got doesn't go through the hood. That would be dope. But it's just like your chest and your back.
Yeah,
but it's still awesome.
Still, yeah, I would love it.
Outside snowboarding
for my son was varsity football, so I just I sat through all the football games. I went home and away. I didn't miss a game, but I was I was warm at least.
You were hip to the tricks, man.
Yeah, man.
These
jackets are pretty neat, Red. It's definitely some cool space shit.
I don't like shouting out brands or anything, but I've been using one. It really keeps me warm in the cold. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like like you said, it's the new new Mylar, super thin shit. And they put it on the inside of the jacket, so it's this gold circle looking thing pattern, and I guess it just keeps you hot with your own heat.
Yeah,
that's cool. But it says no humans were cold in the making of this jacket.
So shout out to Mama Red. That was the last year's Christmas gift.
Oh, cool.
Right on.
Man, I hadn't had a huge, like I said, dude, I've been rocking a fucking Carhartt for the last 15 years, man. Same bad boy, wearing bigger holes in the wrists year after year. Yeah, finally gave me a awesome fucking warm jacket, dude. That fucker's
we're not getting any younger, man. The joints get colder the older you get, man. The winters seem colder. It's just, you can't run around in fucking, Bobby Hill shorts and sandals all the time when you get to be a certain age.
I get so warm. I just am I run warm, and that kind of stuff makes me sweat, and then I just am uncomfortable. So I always have lighter jackets, and I'll layer underneath. I just layer my way up.
Man,
I do layers too, but
I wish I ran warm. It would make my life so much easier.
I would rather be able to snuggle up more. I wish. Heating pad, heated blankets. Never been able to use any of that stuff.
I turn on my electric blanket at 4:30 and get that shit all heated up.
Holy shit!
So
What time
when
are you going to bed? Fucking 7?
No, it gets all heated up by the time I'm in it.
There you go.
Has all that time to heat up, then I turn it off. But yeah, sequence dies for a couple minutes, so then
I was
Deal
gonna
with
say
it.
those heated blankets. I've tried it, man. They do. I'll wake up sweating in no time.
Swelter.
you definitely have to turn them off or like turn them
Or
down.
on fire.
They're so nice though in the wintertime when you turn them on ahead of time and you go to get in bed. Oh man, it's the best thing
You know, they
ever.
make dual zone ones where you have like, one side of the blanket you can turn on and the other one is it's independent.
Exactly. He can turn his side off.
Get a little dry ice, toss it under the sheets for him.
Dry ice.
Jesus.
Yeah, cool down.
Yeah, I don't know. We're trying to plan our next polar plunge. No, we're not. We're
I was
not.
just gonna say
Sounds
that
good,
one
but-
wasn't enough, huh?
It was more than enough, Spartan, for sure. Yeah, it was terrible, and I'm so glad we did it. But it was fun and terrible.
I'll take your word for it.
I recommend it though.
RSO treating you.
Yeah. Well, I recommend you do it then. How's that?
Feeling pretty good. I've
how you
been
go?
browsing RC car bodies.
All right, show us what you're looking at. What are you looking at?
Well, okay.
We'll give you the vote
Oh
on
God,
that. Cool or not.
Yeah, help me decide. I think I picked it out here.
Jesus.
There you go.
So what do you think about these three on the RX-7s?
Where are you
Yeah.
driving this thing at?
I'll just do it in my driveway when there's no snow.
These things are gonna get lost in a crack, man. Those things are so low to the ground.
In a crack? No, we'll be fine. Look at this. Look at that. I'm thinking that one. We got that one.
How much does that cost? 65 bucks?
65 bucks, yeah. And there's this is pretty base, like, which is pretty cool. But and then you got this Rocket Bunny one. That's
They're
for
all red.
drifting. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Red
paint.
rockets,
They come
man,
they
red
come
rockets.
clear, so you gotta imagine. But you're just looking at the body.
Oh, so you still have to paint this and all kinds of other
Yeah, you're
shit.
gonna paint it, but yeah,
Oh, it's not, fuck that. Why doesn't it come off with the yellow?
that's the fun part.
Ah,
Oh,
Just
it's
the body?
oh,
It's just
Or I also was looking at old.
my
This is like a
old Beamer?
1970s Nissan.
so
It's called a
it'll look
GTR. One of the first
different with
ones.
whatever wheels you have, right?
Yeah, you buy your wheels and all that. Yeah, and you buy what's underneath.
you think you could fit an eighth in that and deliver it to somebody down the road?
Absolutely.
That's
So
fucking
fast.
That
So
is hilarious.
That would be
And I'm
fucking
and I'm
so
looking
cool.
good doing it in a Rocket Bunny.
Drifting into the driveways.
Yeah,
Is this gas cars or electric?
they're electric. The only people I know that use the gas ones are like those dirt tracks and stuff like that. They're
Is
ramping.
the gas car still a thing? Does it still?
Yeah, but it's
around
just not for like just racing. Not for street cars.
Using the blue.
Although they got drag racing that are probably gas. They'll go like 80, 90. You gotta be careful if you get hit in the shin. You
Jeez.
can really do some damage.
That's like the worst kickflip ever, man. That bark into the shins.
Man,
Yeah.
90 miles an hour.
wreck that thing fucking. Oh my god, how many times did you wreck that thing and have to fix it doing 80, 90 miles an hour? Come on.
Well, that's
They have little
yeah.
parachutes too. They get little parachutes to slow them
I
down.
bet they do. I bet they do. I would hope you got like a button on your controller. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I looked at that, and I was also looking at drones though, because I got a good yard for drones.
Drone is a good idea, man. You get so
We
much
could do
fucking
drones
badass
in that.
content.
Yeah,
We could just
Drones were
fly it in the
yeah.
grow room and shit.
How much is a decent drone? Like
Oh, you want to show? Oh, I'll show you the one I found.
Baked. Then you could also moonlight and like make some money with realtors on the side and do some
overhead
house
pictures and
tours and
shit.
that kind of property tours.
Look
That's
at this.
really fucking smart, painted lady.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Here.
I thought about that.
Cheers, it's 19 in the morning. I'm just brimming with fucking ideas, man.
Look at this. Is a this is called the Tiny Hawk.
Hold on.
I found it today. I think this is like your entry basic level where you have a goggles, so you're looking through the drone, just like racers. And it's
And it's-
259, but it comes with the controller, the goggles, and the drone.
And it's got the camera built in, right?
And the battery. Yeah, the camera's right there in the front. See?
Okay. It's
And
not like I have to strap my phone to it and go flying around with it or something.
yeah, that's I think a good entry level there. But after that, if I want to do what you're talking about, Paint Lady, you get like a DJI or something nice.
Yeah,
That
you
has a little
definitely
bit
need
better
something.
camera. But this one you would practice for racing, which I've always thought would be cool to do.
What if
And
you
all
just
you
want
need
like
is a
clear?
big yard and some hoops. Like you stick them in the ground. They're like half hoops or arches, I guess. And that's what you go through to make your track.
Okay.
Or you can freestyle a track, you know.
It's like
Pick
dog
out
agility
trees
courses and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah. So I don't know, just shit. I was literally, it's just like Panley was saying, shit in the winter. I'm thinking about. But,
Yeah, a drone would be
Yeah.
cool if you could get like a really clear aerial picture of something. That'd be pretty sweet. Fly around with that.
yeah, I've got a pretty good. You know, right next to the garage there.
Yeah.
I've got a clear area you could do and go over my house and stuff. That'd be cool. I
Oh,
go
wait.
places too, go to parks, and there's a
Could use
lot of
that.
places in Michigan you could get some cool footage.
I went
Bro,
to the
All the
lake.
lakes by you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
I
a
went
lake
way
2
up
blocks
north to
away.
the lake in Charlevoix to the Fisherman's Island out there, and with a friend who had a drone, and we were by the lake, and he had his drone, and he was doing something. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it just flew off,
Oh,
No.
and we were like,
Somebody's
it's like a nice one.
it was a nice one, and he's
Oh.
just like, I think the battery died or something. I don't know, the battery died or the signal lost or something, and so he just kind of sat there like a lost puppy, looking at his little controller thing, and we just hung out at the beach for a little while, and then all of a sudden we heard, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later, we heard, bzzz, and then there it was.
You made the full circle and
Yeah.
came
So
back
loud.
by.
It must have been a nice one because the nice ones will have like features like GPS tracking and like like if it gets lost, it's supposed to try to find
Oh,
its way home.
shit.
That's exactly what he
That's
had.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
they have like
nuts.
auto levelers. They have stuff that'll be like, just follow me, and you'll just go on your mountain bike or your extreme, dirt bike, and it's following you like a movie,
Holy
and taking
shit.
film. Some of the nice ones are really cool, but
But that's like $1,000
Yeah.
or something like that, probably.
oh, I'm sure if not more. But I
Okay.
mean, that's why I was like, what kind was it? Because I've lost a drone before, but it was a $50 practice drone, and I wanted to see how high it would go. Well, guess what?
How
You
high?
get pretty high, but once you get to a certain point, the winds are stronger. And
Blew
that's
your shit away.
woo! And I went, oh fuck, I got no control anymore. It's too far.
Was
And
it like
then,
watching a $50 bill fly away?
I was in a neighborhood, and I was like, all right, we know where it dropped. Let's see if we can go see, drive around, see if we can see it on a roof or something, and hopefully it doesn't start a fire on somebody's roof. But we never found it, so chalked
Oh,
it up to a
no.
loss. Somebody found it, probably. Got a
Thinking
cool
how many
drone.
lost drones are out there.
Oh yeah,
Someone
Well,
walked
that one was pretty cheap, but
like I've been waiting for this day.
yeah, exactly. Well, now they gotta go get a remote.
Think about the manufacturers. They love it.
Oh yeah, because you gotta go buy another one.
Have you
That
seen
one
the
had
flamethrower
a
drone?
flip button. No, I wouldn't want a flamethrower one.
I seen it's like some meme and people are having like this fucking house party that's really loud and shit at night. This fucking dude flies a drone up. It's like setting the tree on fire and shit.
Here's
Oh
the
my
thing.
God. fucking
If they have a house party, there's alcohol. Set
Does
that
it
on
shoot
fire.
it down? Does it shoot it down?
Yeah, it was like a
Okay, that
blast
makes
of fucking
sense.
fire. Yeah.
That's the only way I would be using drones. It's more like a bomber.
Well,
If you
if you
want to
let's say
use
you
the
had like a
bottom of it and
humongous
drop.
fucking hornet's nest up in a tree, right? And you're like, man, I
Yeah.
don't really want to climb up on a ladder and fuck with this thing.
I don't know
You
if
can
you
fly
guys
this
paid,
dude up there and fucking.
I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the war that's going on, but that's the fucking craziest thing, how drones are weaponized out there. Like
Oh yeah, they'll
just
strap
drones
some
that we're talking
C4.
about, or just a little
Oh,
bit bigger drones. These just like regular, citizens are defending their damn country with fucking drones,
Yeah.
dropping grenades
Yeah.
and shit. It's amazing. It's amazing that
It's no
whole
longer
thing.
boots on
Well,
the
I mean,
ground,
like,
it's drones
they-
in the air.
They put them in the game. I play PUBG, and I was like, this is stupid. You're just copying this other game, and nobody uses these. But then one time we had to camp and wait for the circle. So we were in a swamp in the single house. So I was like, well, let me try this thing. And I went and just put it straight 300 feet above our house. And you basically have a 360-degree, view of your area. So they're pretty useful in that way. So
Oh yeah, they're using it for reconnaissance. I mean,
yeah,
both
that's what I'm
both
saying.
sides
Like,
are. I mean, it's powerful.
I seen one that was like, imagine like a helicopter shape, but it didn't. I don't know if it had a back rotor, but it definitely had a top one. But it was like the size of your palm, and it
Wow.
was like a military one with a camera, and it was supposed to be really expensive, and they were messing with it. But yeah, and it was quiet, like real quiet. So it was like, oh, you sneaky sons of bitches.
Oh, I've seen them in the shape of like a fly.
Oh,
And
but
it
how
had-
big? But how big?
Same size as a fly. And
No,
it was stick on the wall. It was
no,
stick on the wall.
I call
And it didn't have-
bullshit.
I mean,
And it didn't have video, but it had audio.
You know
Yeah,
what's
man.
crazy is
That's
you wouldn't
why
even
on the
need to have
wall.
you wouldn't even
Just
need
put
to
it
have
in
an
a fly
armament
drone.
on that if you
Something
could
like
just
that.
fly
Military
I
that
fly
find
drone.
it.
at
I
like
put drone the
1250
size of
feet.
fly with audio. Oh, insect size robots. Let's see.
they don't need to do that. All they have to do is sell something on Schmamajon that says, "Here, plug me in, and I'll play your favorite music when you tell me to." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I don't have
We
video.
got one right up there, as a matter of fact. We'll see.
Be careful.
I don't think there's people like actively listening, but I think if they wanted to, they could.
Absolutely.
I think there are people actively listening because there was a story once where I was in the living room with a friend of mine who was having a hard time. She was going through a divorce, and we were talking and talking, and then I had a thing from Schmamashman in the kitchen around the corner. And when she was going to leave, she was standing there at the side door, and she was like, all right. And I was like, all right, well, hang in there. And the thing from Schmamashman said, "You're a good person. Keep your head up."
What?
Yes.
That's an
Okay.
And
amazing.
we both
man.
looked at each other like,
Too bad we checked that user agreement to say that it's not an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, that could just be like a fortune cookie. Sometimes they're on point.
dude, that has never happened. It
That's a
never
weird
happened
thing.
since.
I have to admit,
Never happened before that.
Here's the
usually
thing.
fucked
Here's the
up.
thing.
act out like that.
Have you guys heard of something called the NSA?
Have you
These
heard of
fuckers-
something called the NSA?
Let me tell you about this. It's a fact. These fuckers
me
had
tell
a
you
computer in the 1980s that was the equivalent of like 100,000 computers put into one.
You just
What do you think they have today, 40 years later? They're listening to our thoughts at this point, if they want.
The interesting one I heard was that
They don't need a fly in your room.
Well, no, check this out. Like TVs have gotten a lot cheaper, and it's not just because like it's cheaper to produce them, but like the product now is you. They're, you know what I mean? Because they
Yeah.
can track out all through all the apps and all the shit that you do. Like they can do target advertising.
Well, yeah, and like
Crazy
now
shit.
I notice like Vizio wants you to use their like platform to watch everything through, even though you'll still be using the other apps.
But it's
It's
the
like,
portal.
oh, okay, yeah, yep.
bizarre.
Edward Snowden, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. There was a bizarre little thing that talked about behind some of the apps or designers, and what could potentially be just something as simple as an app or a game, let's just call it a video game or something, could potentially be like a threat to national security. Let's say the video game is released under Maleficent ideology. That's to like have
Malfeasance.
that's to have one group, like let's just say be so
Maleficent from Disney. Is that what you're
sure,
talking about?
yeah.
Huh?
So
I like how video games get attacked all the
like
time.
just that makes you like distracted. Such a
Waiting for the connection.
distracting video game. It makes you, let's just say,
It doesn't.
Hollywood movie. Are
affect your motivation or
could just say
affect
app.
how.
you talking about propaganda?
I'm trying to just well, no, not necessarily.
Whether it be
more like
be
No,
blatant
he's
or
saying it takes your
subtle.
attention. No, he's saying it takes all your attention, Biggs.
takes
He's
your
saying-
attention and focuses it on like distracting things and like does stupid shit.
Bread and
Whereas
circuses.
whereas
Weed is
that
the
same
well. I
person
think that
with
weed
the
is the
totally different in a different location, and those that utilize this form of entertainment, depending on where you are politically, could depend on how that affects you mentally, right? So it's bizarre, what we use as entertainment and what we trust as entertainment. I've even said, even here within our own political boundaries of our whatever our boundaries as a culture, whatever you want to call it, I even consider certain things of entertainment to be far more brainwashy, maybe untrustworthy than they are. Is that a good stream of entertainment? You know what I mean? Is it more toxic to watch? Is that going to distract me so much that it's going to persuade my focus, my ambitions, my whatever? Is it going to make me a better person? Is it going to make me more of a paranoid person by following that form of entertainment? Et cetera, et cetera. And I believe that exists as a cautionary mindset for a lot of us. That's kind of why I stick to gardening and things like that, because it's so tangible, it's alive. There's not much you can do to fool me when I grow something from a seed. You know what I mean? Whereas almost everywhere else in this,
What about a book?
books can be tangible, but again, it's up to the authors. You're leaving your information holds to an author.
with the way that AI has been fucking going in leaps and bounds, within a matter of like a year or so, it'll get to the point where you can't verify anything yourself.
Oh, I feel
Well,
like the way the AI is going, there's not going to be many. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. There's not going to be any jobs left. But I feel like AI is eventually going to take away things like designing and all that kind of stuff, because all you can do is just program a couple coordinates or what you need, and boom, it's gonna pop up in seconds, much cheaper than you're gonna have to pay an engineer to do it, and then you're gonna send that over to the 3D printer, and all of us that took CAD in high school, I don't know, man.
But what is
Didn't work out too much.
what about a perfect world where the robots are doing all the work and you have all the time to garden and do what you want with your family?
I like.
And everyone does.
Let's
kind of like
let's hope that it goes the route
idea.
of having a focus on ecology as well, or else it doesn't matter to be able to have that time if we can't breathe our own air or drink our own water. Let's hope that ecology is a prime focus during the technological takeover, that if it occurs and if it allows us to live sustainably forever, I'm willing to watch this thing take place, but I'm still going to be, tangibly handling plants. I don't want to I still want to remain somewhat human, man. I want to have that connection with the Gaia, the earth, the vibrations that we've been talking about. I don't want to be a completely synthetic.
You don't want to be a cyborg.
Well,
Not completely, man. No, I don't want to be a cyborg. No.
Can you imagine a cyborg red?
I don't think we would ever go backwards in technology, so you can't really ever destroy the idea of robots, and since they're here, they're already gonna get made. So like, wouldn't it be cool if like that's the first step to perfection? You get all the robots, and now you don't need to do anything. Next up, what do we get? Free energy for everyone. What's up next? Free
We
transportation. So
we
now
have
you
to
can
eliminate
go hang
status.
out with all the trees you want all over the planet
It won't work, man,
for
because there's
free.
too many people that say status is quo.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's what the boomers say. It won't work.
And well, I'm saying that it won't work from a cultural perspective until we say that, you know, we can all equally. Oh, so okay, so if nobody has to work for financially, then that means that nobody's going to get a chance to like earn money to have their yachts and like, you know, have flashy shit, and that's not going to fly in this culture. You know, that
Oh
mindset
yeah,
change first. You know, I can
yeah.
live frugally. We can probably live frugally, but there's a 1% or 2 or 3 or 5% or many that strive. There's probably 90% that strive to get to that 1%.
190 to somewhere in
No, what
that.
I'm saying is they're not
I
there.
think
They're striving to be there because
Right.
mentally, that's where they think our culture exists at, is in this materialistic thing where we have to purchase and have the money and
I,
means and ways.
I
So
think tech gets attached to materialism all the time.
In
we
what
have
way,
And it's
Bake?
like
property issues.
in
So
people's
then
viewpoints, and it doesn't have to be like you can have an advanced civilization. Like what's that? The garden that disappeared or whatever.
Garden of Eden? Are you talking
No,
about
No,
that?
it did.
no,
Garden of
It
Hanging
disappeared.
Gardens in
Babylon.
Babylon?
Yeah, like they were
Atlanta.
very advanced for their time. They had gardens everywhere. You can mesh tech with ecology, like I think,
you,
which would be
this
sick.
this idea of centralization would have to be eliminated. We would have to like go back to a moral code that is a natural code of ethics rather than having these hierarchy of politics. Um, a lot of things need to change for the idea of the robot takeover to exist, to work, you know, to benefit humanity. We have to get rid of status. And I don't know if that's going to, I think that it's so ingrained in humanity. The monarch, the monarch of the Vatican and all of that is so strong. I just don't think that it's going to like disperse evenly enough the resources to allow the poor to live amongst the wealthy. In a perfect world, that's what we need, but that status won't allow the poor to live amongst the wealthy. They won't bring them in, man. I don't know why they won't do it. You know, they'd rather write a check
They just haven't.
than
They just haven't done it. It's the thing. The future has all the
it
possibilities.
has the possibilities. And I think that people are jaded on like seeing war and seeing shit like propaganda tell them what to do. Like that's what we have propaganda telling us to
We're,
hate and to like, you know, trust this or despite not trust that. And like
we're in the infancy of like worldwide communication. To be
yeah,
what we've been worldwide connected for what 50 years if we want to be nice.
Not
Really
even
like yeah, really like 30, 20. It's like when
25.
really the third
and
world
look at what
countries
we're
started
doing
getting
with
cell
this
phones
But
and,
it's
technology.
still
and
a very
internet.
low. It's a very low percentage of the population that's connected
but
still.
but we have
Exactly,
been
exactly.
we've been
So
connected to it long enough that we should be doing more with the technology than being zoned into what we call our phone hole of nonsensical scrolling over
we
dumb shit, like lost in a path of
but you
anti-motivation, scrolling dumb shit from around
but
the
you
world.
say but you say long enough. But here's the thing: humans have been around how long? And then I just said we've been connected for like worldwide for like 20
Right.
years. So we're in the
Right.
infancies of figuring out how to get the propaganda news and all this crazy bullshit, that distractions you're talking about, and stop wasting communication on that. I think. I mean, we're in the first like 20 years of it. So like give
Right.
it 100 years. We've been around for 1,000 and figure out how to eat, how to garden, how to do everything else.
And
Now
like,
we got to
that's
figure
like
out how to use
it.
these things we've invented.
Like, thankfully, there's a so YouTube entertains me probably 60% of the time, and it teaches me probably 40% of the time. It's able to teach me 100% of the time. The problem is my attention span will get stuck on some bullshit for about I don't know, a half hour every now and then. But and then once you find some information, an author is going to provide some links to follow in the description. You can take that route, and I think that, and then we can connect with other humans around the globe.
But Red, that's life, man. I mean, if we didn't have smartphones, you'd be just as distracted by a book or a TV show.
But I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's just the advancement of
I'm
books.
talking about the positives of the internet, which
Oh,
are
yeah.
Oh, right.
all this stuff. Okay, we're able to do all of this.
Able to learn from home.
Just the general knowledge that you can get with somebody who does, we
The
don't know
average-
everything, but we honestly, if you have a smartphone, you do know everything. You just gotta look it up.
The
Yeah.
average
Huge.
Yeah, straight up.
average person
That's what I don't,
will get their kicks from the internet in the form of maybe shopping or like there's a lot of things that it is beneficial. I'm not going to say that the internet's bad. That's why we're having a conversation with each other over the internet. Like, that's ridiculous to say that. But what I'm saying is that we haven't got to the point to where the internet has done anything besides confuse and distract a lot of people rather than allowing them to understand its potential. You know what I mean? So and I'm speaking to like the generation that's not allowed to watch this show. I'm not talking to any of us, man. We all grew up at a time where we had to discover this. This wasn't handed to us by our parents to say, look, go get distracted by this instead of an analog remote control or something that we all got handed. You know what I mean? Or a Lego, something tangible. This internet is being used to distract our youth, which I think is a far more important conversation than the one that I'm actually, beating around the bush to have. That's my point. My point is like not using it so much as a form of entertainment and distraction, but utilizing it for what it is, because it has the potential to save the world once we get things like information about soil health, biodiversity, and all that stuff out and around. Fortunately, like there's some things on the internet about that, that information is getting out there. The ability to share that kind of information, but most people share fight videos. You know what I mean? That's where my hiccup is. Enough sharing of fight videos, more sharing of soil health regeneration. I guess that's.
But Red, that's a really. I mean, do we know that? Do we know that that's what most people share? I don't get any. Fight videos.
Yeah.
I don't get any fight videos, man. But
I don't get any fight videos. I think it's all algorithm based now. If you start looking up soil health, you're gonna get some soil health videos and other stuff. So I don't know. I think the kids. I think we'll be pretty surprised with the kids these days. I mean, they're going to have YouTube at their fingertips where even if they didn't have a dad or a mom or somebody teaching them how to do this or that, there's a video for it.
Absolutely.
How to fix this, how to repair your car. Oh, that guy was making fun of me because I didn't know how to change a flat. I'll just fucking YouTube it. And then boom, I don't know. I think it will be surprised.
I think overall, I mean, for sure, I agree with Red that there's a lot of dangers and there's a lot.
There is.
And the programs are written to pull you into those traps for sure. But then we have to recognize the dangers and then, steel our minds and fight against that. And the algorithm will catch up. It'll catch up and say, okay, he doesn't want to see that, or he doesn't want to see that content.
Without the internet, soil health wouldn't be as far as it is today, because you wouldn't have people on the West Coast talking every day with people on the East Coast with results of their experiments and stuff. You wouldn't have Clackamas Kook getting around spreading knowledge and us spreading knowledge. It's shows like this. So
hey, careful about the knowledge part now. We're spreading entertainment.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just a cup half full. I think there's good and
Right.
bad definitely out there. It's just and I think it's just
You
we're
know
in
what?
the infancy. We got to figure it all out and figure out how to use it better. But
I
you're
know I'm
right.
not
We
a
have to use
boomer
it better.
because I still believe in the the march forward. I believe that the younger people that I've met have really been fucking on the ball and smart. I think they get a bad rap. But I think historically, the younger generation always gets a bad rap. You know, but the mindset between boomer and millennial and zoomer is just so completely different that the march is going forward. Some people will just be drug kicking and screaming, you know. So
Yeah.
I like people that like to search for their own knowledge. And I don't mean do your own research, bro. What I mean is fucking like if you're interested in something, take the time and drill down into it. You know, I know that's not everybody's way. I know somebody, if they have the choice to watch a 1 minute video or a 21-minute video, they'll always pick the 1 minute. But you're only going to have a topographical fucking understanding of anything in like small bits and parcels and shit like that. You got to, you know, really let your passion go. Baked, you got super hyped up and was like, okay, I'm going to fucking totally get into this. Look at your grow. You know what I mean? Your grow is not something that you just fucking threw together on a lark. This is something that you've enjoyed designing and researching and seeing how it's going to all go together and shit. That's part of the payoff for you.
Marshall
Oh, yeah.
just makes, you know, he brings up the point that I'm trying to kind of pass is that these things, these tools don't just exist for us to use. Somebody owns them. Somebody has, you have to just question everybody's motives
No one owns the internet.
but they own programs that we all sign up for, and then click little boxes that allow people to do things with our information because we allow them to by signing user agreements and stuff like that. Nobody owns the
That's
internet,
like saying they own the printing press.
but they own.
Damn you, Gutenberg.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Semantics. This isn't,
In the end, the internet is a free man's thing. Like, they don't own it.
And you have to learn to walk away from it too.
somebody just paid $500 billion for Twitter.
Spartan.
So somebody owns something.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've been on Twitter? How many times do you use Twitter?
Never.
Anybody on here raise your hand?
We're not.
I think I logged into it one time to follow a news story.
And what I'm saying is, if you log on to Twitter, the people who own Twitter,
No, I didn't log in. I didn't make an account. I just looked for
are gonna
that
be the
story.
ones that allow, or Instagram's the same way. How many times has Instagram stopped you from being able to post something on Instagram?
No, I don't think ever.
Chat. How many times has Instagram stopped you? Come on, guys. Seriously.
But what's stopping you from getting a programming book and making your own app?
Yeah. All right. My
Well, he needs the popularity of Instagram though. That's not easy.
Well, it wasn't
He
easy
can make
for
his own
Instagram
app.
to start.
Well, he's got to make his. Yeah, it was. They didn't have who's competition.
Facebook didn't create Instagram. It was one dude that made it.
No,
And then
I know.
he sold out. So
But it
like
was-
it
it was
was the
something
same
new,
thing.
though.
You got to start somewhere and get the hype up and get the message
Yeah.
out. I mean, it's a hard thing, but
Well,
No,
it's
it's not-
harder. I would say it's harder to see Instagram. They were kind of a new thing, you know, new type of platform at least, and so they were blazing the trail. I think that's easier than trying to follow them after they've fucking dominated. You know what I'm saying? You'd
Well,
have to come up
yeah.
with something completely different. Just like YouTube, like everybody says, oh, we need to, you know, boycott YouTube or whatever until they allow cannabis on there. And it's like, and do what? There's no good alternative. Not near the reach. And really our at least all of us sitting here have already said this, but you know, we're just trying to educate people. So we need the biggest reach to do that. And so that's what's difficult to go against is the reach, you know, the goal. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, we need a better alternative, but that's easier just said than actually done. That's why we don't have one.
No, I'm saying the internet could be utilized for a lot more than just social apps. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
But
that I'm trying.
But
to
social
say.
apps
I
is for a
think
lot
it
of
is.
But it is. It totally
It's got
is.
encyclopedias.
It is.
It's got
is.
massive databases of information. We
It's
used the internet
really used
to
for all.
solve protein chains for cancer research.
I
I
know
mean,
what
it's
it's
there's
used for, man.
so many good things on the internet.
But and
We'll use it to
There's
use
so many bad
Yeah.
things, but I think it's a yin and a yang,
internet stuff that they talk about and that
50-50.
try to tell people about is Twitter. You know what I mean? Like that's all that people's focus is on is Facebook and Twitter. If I were to talk about, to a lot of people about what's the most common thing that they probably pick up when they open their phone, it's not a Safari in search engine, it's Facebook or Twitter.
Well, it's okay. I get you, but it's Facebook and Twitter can be anything. So it's actually what you're saying
They're
is
just
that
a portal.
you're not talking about what they are interested in. If they're not interested, they don't care. Yeah. So like they're on Facebook looking at, let's say, cars, and you're not talking about cars, they're not going to
I'm
be
not saying that the
listening.
internet is a vicious force either.
I'm
I'm
not. I know.
saying
I'm
that the
just saying.
perception
It
of what
sounds.
we should do with it should be greater. That's all. I'm looking at a lot of. I'm watching firsthand people like my family members that just sit on their phone and there's an entire world at their fingertips, and I don't know, they do other things like play Angry Birds or something all day, and that's an adult. 30-year-old.
But if that makes them happy, aren't you happy for them?
I am very happy for them. Yes, absolutely. 100% happy. It's I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not portraying my message properly.
No, I agree with. I hear what you're saying, Brad.
We're all
I
supposed to
agree.
be having a conversation here, but is ridiculous. I'm totally portraying my message incorrectly. The idea is what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of great information on the internet, so let's use it wisely. And then there's a lot of information out there that's full of shit, and use it wisely.
That's why.
That's
That's
true,
why I
too.
think the next generation
I'm
is
not
going to
trying
be
to have
even
this
better at
piss dick,
sorting through the
dick
shit.
measuring contest and all this.
Nobody is. We're just having a conversation.
And it's I don't know. It's all about semantics. Sometimes it's black and white, and there's no beating around the bush. So I'm not going to worry about it. No big deal.
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Anyway. Well, I'm ready for New Year's Eve. What do you guys, is anybody popping new seeds in the new year? Is anybody doing anything for New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve isn't exciting as it used to be, but anybody popping new stuff?
I'll probably keep popping my vortex crosses and just checking out. Just doing like seed germination, checking that, see how they make sure they all pop, or at least the majority of them pop, and then check out. See the ones I haven't popped yet. So it would be the Orange Dream Haze cross, and then the I don't remember what the other one was. Maybe a Limelights cross. But it'll be cool to just see what comes of those. I don't know if I'm going to do it right then, but it'll be, when I can. I've got 6 I already popped, so.
Nice. Rusty Nails, I think the Wake and Bake is back on schedule, but I'll have to check with
It
Sequence
depends.
and Skill.
See how many people we got. Yep. That's what I was
Yeah.
just saying is, we've never really done that show consistently. It's always been a scheduling thing. And in the beginning, when we used to do it, it used to just be me and Sequence and Tara and Dan. And, we've grown from that over it. So we'll see. It just depends on, who's got kids and who's got company and who's got to, water the plants in the morning and all that good shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I got no plans for New Year's Eve other than to sit. Well, we were going to go do like a hibachi kind of thing with his girls, but the youngest doesn't like hibachi. So now we're going to do, I think, just like a whole bunch of Mexican food. And
Nice.
yeah, I bought him a whole bunch of hot sauces for his stocking, like a whole bunch of ones that you see on Hot Ones
Oh,
show.
like
And
the real hot ones, not just like, oh, these are different labels and cool names.
no,
Okay.
like, yeah, Dirty Dicks. I bought him several different varieties of Dirty Dicks and some Secret Aardvark. So yeah, he's got to try out all of his hot sauces. So I think we're just gonna do like a family style, like bunch of Mexican food and then some. They've got some sparkling grape juice to drink at midnight, and we have some champagne, and we're gonna watch some Andy Cooper and Anderson, or no, Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper on CNN, and some football,
There you
and
go.
go blue.
Go blue.
That'll be nice.
Nothing too exciting.
It's supposed to be warm too.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I hear Babe back there.
Yep, she woke up for the last 2 seconds of the show.
Pinkleberry.
Yeah, man.
Pinkleberry.
Coffee
F7.
F8. That sounds interesting too, though, on there. More
Yep.
green source.
Got some crazy crosses coming in the new year. I don't know if I'll be popping anything.
How
That's surprising, man. You've got some. Seems like you're always popping shit.
I'm trying to
Fucking always
space
get
it out and get a tray on track separately. So
how stable do you think F8 is going to be?
It's going to be really pointed in one direction at that point, you would think.
yeah, I would hope.
Whatever they were
that would be
searching.
exact. Yeah, I would hope that thing tastes like coffee. I don't know. Why would you
This
name
is-
it with a K too?
I seen somebody in chat earlier was talking about they were doing seeds that
Kush.
one half of it was like Katsu's Bubba. And that's
Yeah.
you're talking about like coffee strains and good medicine, man. A good old school Bubba Kush, man.
You know the interesting thing about that BX1 Death Star is they're all pretty uniform for 10
Oh yeah.
BX1s. I was pretty like, okay. So maybe there was some breeding, actual like,
It's from
Breeding
Pacific
before.
Northwest, he says.
oh, the coffee.
Yeah.
Yep. I
There
don't
you go.
want to. I don't want a coffee strain.
I don't really like the flavor of coffee, so that would be gross to me.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are crazy. I think it would be good.
I like what's it called? Mocha. Smell
Yeah,
of
it's like a-
mocha.
That's more
Chocolatey
yeah,
coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nutry calls it mucha.
mucha.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was super high at Clio and saw the van or whatever it was and was like, oh, what's mucha?
Shout
I
out
was like, you
to
talking about
Tara
the
and Nutri.
mocha? Yeah, it was good times.
Even Babe's mocking him back there.
I know she is.
Anything grows wants a coconut strain. I don't think I've ever seen a
Hell
coconut
yeah.
strain.
I'm on board with that.
Cool.
Yeah, I was
I've
trying to
seen
find.
pina coladas.
Yeah, so you have to find something like tropical maybe and go down that avenue, and then try
Yeah.
to lock in coconut.
Could be interesting smoke though.
That would
Yeah.
be.
Oh, it'd be so good. It's my favorite candy. Go right for when you get a box of candies. I go right for the coconutty one.
We're loaded with coconut cookies. Coconut, well, not coconut cookies, but cookies with coconut in them.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Me too. My mom
Nice.
made me some. So good. Somehow they stay moist with the coconut in there. So
'Cause your
good.
Mama Spartan is a dope ass baker. That's why.
Goddamn right she is. She sent me a whole mess of them. It was awesome.
It was like getting a tray of cookies from Sam's, but full of like mom's good ones and shit, but like that amount.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'll last until at least
Well,
Sunday
my
night.
son's here too, so
Oh, you're
yeah, I got
fucked.
about half. No, I got about half.
That's going to take us right up to the fucking edge of the show. I do want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with us this evening. I hope you guys are properly medicated at this point. If you're still looking for something to watch, shoot over and watch Talking Shit with Eagle. Other than that, come back through. Red, are you doing a Behind the Veil Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday night at 9 p.m. over on Polarity Science for Behind the Veil. Otherwise, we'll see where we go here.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you next year.
Oh,